Hello everyone and welcome to the second part of this video. So in this video, we were doing an e-commerce project and bringing an end-to-end, building an end-to-end pipeline to get the data from various sources, then enrich it, and then make sure that we are able to finally serve it to our uh, data scientists, data analytics, or management, or anyone who wants to use it. Now to help you quickly revise, let us go back to our architecture. So in this architecture, if you all remember, we have done quite a lot, honestly. We saw that how we can get the data via Git and using an HTTPS request. Then SQL table also we set it up. So we send the data as well and then we read the data. So this will give you an idea and a lot of confidence when you have to get data from multiple sources. And if you have to set up some database as well, you will know that, okay, where exactly it has to be fit in, right? After that, we done some awesome work in Azure Data Factory. We learned and used many activities like for each, lookup. I told how you can write the overall JSON structure for that, I would say multiple file reading, right? Which now, if you think you can just basically fork from my repository and for your project, you can change it and everything can be done with the coding only, right? So that's the overall end goal which one should aim. If you are if you want to become a good data engineer, make sure that how you can optimize and automate things, right? So passing that JSON just by copying could also be done. You could have also made 8 blocks to read those CSVs, but again, this helps a lot, right? Now, after that, we have seen that how we have got the data into data lake. Right now, everything is in bronze folder or bronze layer. I have not created multiple folder containers, but rather folders inside a single container. Then we have to make sure that we are somehow now able to get to our silver container. For this, we saw that how we can read the data back into our Databricks. I explained you about Databricks as well a lot, like what exactly Databricks is, about Spark. So I most probably will be bringing another video into that. Okay. And yes, for that, we also worked on the permission part. So let me show you that as well. Minute. Okay, not this one. Yeah, so we gave the permission and we were able to read it. In case you are facing some issue in reading after for like following all the steps nicely, just wait. It sometimes takes a little bit time to get the permission synced up, right? And now we are going to follow or do a very important part in our project. 1 minute, yeah, which is going to be our Databricks work. And we also saw we send the data into our MongoDB, right, for enrichment. Now, the specific reason why am I doing this, I think I told that in many projects of mine, like which I did at companies, there was always an enrichment steps. Like whenever we were building, like bringing the data into some intermediate coding platform, like in Goldman, also there was a Pure, which was known. I think it's open source, so I can maybe show you that as well. 1 minute. So let us go to Google, Pure, Goldman Sachs. Let's see. Yeah, Pure Alloy project. Yes. So the next one was Alloy. So Pure is something which is pure. Alloy made of zinc and everything, right? So yeah, that brings back so many memories. But many things were there, and it was a very good tool. Honestly, initially I didn't like it, but after that, after some time, I was able to basically get hold of it and do lots of data modeling and stuff here. So yeah, that is why, and majorly what we used to do there, right? So majorly in this language, via coding, we used to get data from various sources and then enrich it and basically then send that data via an API majorly. Okay, majorly we used to use an API, and yeah, that was I think all. So now open source the legend language. Yeah, that is fine. Great. So good to learn that. And let us go back. So now let us go and jump to our data transformation in Azure. Okay, so we will be doing transformation at a level which is not very difficult. So my main aim is to make sure that I show you these steps because the data already is very clean. Like we got that from Kaggle already, right? And Kaggle makes the data so that it is for data scientists to use generally. So that's why there is not a lot of messiness in the data, like the dates and everything will be fine. But again, you will get an idea once we work on this data that what exactly, okay, is the mindset behind working on like in this particular layer or when we get our data into the Databricks or any other language for that matter. Okay, cool. So let us begin and go to Databricks, everyone. I am pretty sure you must be liking this if you have come to second part for sure. So yeah, this was where we stopped. I will have to start that this compute again. Let me just start it again. Yeah. So if you remember, we said that in 20 minutes it's going to be disconnected to save the cost. Okay. And up till now, we will not anyway go above your credits, the free credits which you will be getting for 1 month trial. Okay. Great. So let it run. Meanwhile, I will just explain. So let the compute start and everything happen. Meanwhile, let me just explain you a little bit about this. So, okay, let me just have the pen only so I can easily explain you this. See, this ABFSS, let me change the color blue, is Azure Blob File System Storage. If I remember that right, Azure Blob, not blog, Azure Blob File System. So it was, I think, storage or secure. You can check on internet. That should be fine. Okay. Kind of a protocol. Okay, you can see this on the net as well, but that is what we write to tell that, hey, this is where my data is kept. So it is in the Azure Blob Storage in Data Lake, in Azure Data Lake. Then is your container name, and next is your this container name and data storage account name. So if you remember, we made a container of OList data, and OList data storage account was our storage account name. Then this DFS is data lake system, if I remember it right. So DFS, if like it is also following that protocol only, that this is how we tell it. So it is data lake storage. Let me get it back 1 minute. Yeah. So it is data lake storage .co.windows.net. So just you have to write that. And now once you are, this basically specify that now you are in the container, right? In which container? Let me show you that. And let me also keep the pencil in charging for 2 minutes because charging is low. We have been studying a lot. No worries. Let us go back. Yes. So when I say this thing, see, in the OLS data storage account, this is the storage account. There is this container. So there the type is container, right? If you remember, we went to IAM and gave our Databricks the not the Databricks, we gave the app permission. Okay, so whoever is using those tenant ID, that's tenant ID and secret, that he can access the data, right? It can access the data. Okay, let it load. I think we have to refresh it. 1 minute. So yeah, that was the major understanding. Let it start. No worries. The internet is working. Seems like there is a no. It's working, though a little slow, but should be fine. Let me actually try to maybe connect to a different one. So have just switched the internet, everyone, to the personal hotspot. Not sure why it fails my, especially during recording, but anyways. So yeah, let us see and go back. Let it refresh. Trying and yeah. Great. So here we have the bronze layer, sorry, bronze, and we can see all the like all the files here which we sent via ADF. So let us go back here and let me see if it is, why is it not detach and reattach? Okay, let me do it. Cool. Meanwhile, I can just help you quickly remember. So we saw that Spark is there, 3.5.0. Okay. Then storage account, application ID, all these things are something which we got via the access application, right? Access application, app permission, app registration, yeah, app registrations. And then we basically went ahead and tried to read our data. Just I showed you that you can use this AI also to write the code, and it is just asking you for these two things: container, storage account, and path to CSV. Let me meanwhile also show you. So what we can do is we can have this in line, okay, just to make it a little readable. If you do this plain Python formatting, you have to just add this slash in the end. And there was one more option, which is infer schema, which we can also have as true. Okay. So infer schema, what it does is it's going to infer the schema. So it comes now from the part of Spark where we can also send the schema as DTL and other ways. So that again, I will cover in the session, which I will take for Spark. But here we are more interested in understanding about using Databricks. I normally always suggest to use the basic Spark first and then go to Databricks, right? But no worries, should be fine. We were able to read the data. Now, what we have to do, okay, because we have this data with us, let us first rename it. This is your 1 minute. So this is going to be our mm, customers data set, right? So let us do it customer df, okay, customer df. And sometime this does takes time, like to get you the resource, so should be fine, okay? Don't worry on this. Let us just copy all this, have the code. So see, you will see this shift enter to run and move to next cell to open the command panel. Escape H to see all the shortcuts. Escape H, pretty weird shortcut, but anyways. So understand one thing, everyone. This is very straightforward to Jupyter Notebook, which you must have code, right? And many students ask me that why. So normally, I personally love Jupyter Notebook a lot. Jupyter Lab now it is. The reason being that it shows you the error on the spot, right? It gives you very quick uh, error or success notification. That I think is a very good way to learn coding. So if you know that, it's going to be pretty straightforward. If not, go to my channel. You can see the Hello Python series as well, where Python will be explained. Okay, great. So meanwhile, it gets all the resources. What we can do is, let us go back here. We have the geolocation df. So let me have this geolocation, and here as well we have to copy. The basic idea is that we have to read all these things. Okay, all these files. Okay, I don't want to do that. Let me just quickly now get all the data. So actually, we have the computer available to us now. I have just, what I've done is I have just copied this base path, and instead of manually doing it, I have just made these paths. So just trying to automate these things, right? A little quick. And now we can read all these DFs, right? Let us just read it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And of course, there are also 8 only, right? Great. So yeah, now we are good to read all of these. It's going to take some time because we have basically little big files. Now it will read, let it see if we get any error, and if we get any error, we are going to solve the same. Now let us go back to our architecture, and if you remember, we have to read something from MongoDB here, right? So not really sure how many of you remember. So we are going to read maybe first Python here only. So if I do import pymongo, it's basically going to give you an error most probably. Let me run this. I think this is working. So pymongo is a file through which you can connect to your MongoDB servers, right? And we have to use that here, right? So what I will be doing, let me tell you the whole structure. Let us disconnect the pencil. It seems to be charged. See, and of course, there are other ways as well. This is just some which I have used. So let me go back. Yeah. This MongoDB server, I am going to first connect to it using Python. So we are using PySpark, right? We are using our Python code in Spark. Get this as a Panda CSV, okay? And then just convert it into a Spark data frame. Now the difference between Spark data frame and Panda CSV is that Spark is optimized. It is able to store its data frame across different locations. It is able to do distributed computing. And again, Databricks as a platform is optimized for Spark, right? So we have to make sure that we understand that why we have to change that. We could have done this whole thing in Pandas as well. Many of you might have this doubt, right? But the thing is that when the data increases, right, we will not be able to achieve that level of optimization and parallelization, which we can use Spark and Databricks and get that. Okay. So you will see that on Kaggle, right? Rather, we will have people using just pandas only to do all the analysis and everything. And that is something which I will suggest you to do if you are an aspiring data scientist and a data engineer or someone who wants to have a great career in data. So let us go back to our Spark and let it, okay, still running. Okay, I think we will face an error. Let me just see if I can stop it. The reason is that we have not run these lines first, so it will not be able to find any of these things, right? So we just said that yes, we have restarted our whole compute, and now our compute doesn't know that this Spark configuration, we have this to set, right? So we might get an error here. Let us just quickly wait and let us see that. So we have, this has basically now failed and it makes sense. Giving the error that way only, as your account invalid configuration value detected, right? So what we should do, first let us see if Spark is there. Yes, Spark is there. Let's set the configuration right. Okay. Let's not use this and we can go directly. Yeah. Okay. So now hopefully it will be able to read each and everything. If again, so see, Spark job is created. So seems like it is doing that. Coming to Spark jobs and all these things again, we'll do that, all of that, because right now it's not a good time to explain those things like Spark creates job. If you have an idea on Spark, you will know that. But overall, I will be explaining that. Let me know if you need that video in the comment if you like this particular video, and I will be more than happy to create that. Okay, great. So now what I'm going to do, everyone, what we have to focus on is that you will see like there are a lots of these databases. So we will be combining them as well. And this, okay, so 1 minute, yeah. So if I just run this, you will see that PyMongo, no module named PyMongo. Before I do that, I want to make sure that I get each and everything into my this code, right? So for the timing, I have to first get this MongoDB as well. So all the data is there with me, and then I will work on the transformation, cleaning, and all those things, right? Majorly, you will get the idea. Again, Databricks Spark, I intend to make proper dedicated 4, 5, 7 hours, how much time it takes, videos into them so that you understand that, right? Spark again is not that straightforward. Like you have to understand the basics first and then write the code on Databricks in an ideal scenario. Okay. I have worked with Sparks for a long time, so yeah, that is helpful. I was also able to find one of the question, like I was facing issues in one of the thing which I basically did back in my like days in employment. So you will see this question. It was asked around 4 years back. Like, so I was using something as I told about key salting. So here I was using Spark with Java, right? So Mayank Agarwal asked, and this person gave an awesome answer for this. Okay, like I have to make sure that I can somehow pass this arrays into the, so you will see the question, how to add an array column in Spark data frame. Now, again, in Spark, it might be a little difficult as we have Python and like Java, right? Spark is there in all language. I was just using at that time, I was using Java. Okay, and this lit 0, lit 1, this is something which was not a very good basically implementation. And somehow the other one was also not working. And you will see one more thing. I was using Spark 2.2.0. So the thing is that we have to, in middle of the project, we have to upgrade a Spark to version 3, and we got lots of optimization with that as well. But yes, I have worked on multiple this thing, and then try converting Java list to scale a sequence. So did all that, but not able to achieve the scale. Some version mismatch was there, but I'm telling you that these kind of things can also come into being. So you should always make sure that you understand the basics right again. That Spark you have worked and written a lots of code. So yes, I will be bringing that. Just do let me know if you like this, and I will be more than happy. But yeah, this was just to show that yes, this is a lot of things, and I did thank this guy as well. So yeah, passed me. Okay, let us go back. Okay, now it is saying module not found. Okay, let us close this. Yeah, so there is one more reason I kept this thing, because I want to show you one more way through which we can make our life difficult, but then easy as well, because I will be telling you the solution. So see, what is happening here is I can stop it. So just like we face this error in your this, right? If you remember in your Google Colab, right? So we have this notebook open. I think we installed here as well. Yeah, pip install PyMongo. What we can do in Spark as well is, so we can go to compute. We can select our compute. So this is like our machine, right? Where everything is installed. And we can go to libraries. Here, you can actually install libraries. You can go to PyPy, pip, and let's say PyMongo. Okay. So you can specify some version here as well. I am just installing the latest one. You must have seen Maven here as well. So Maven is which uses like Java, right? Maven, we can use Maven libraries like this. And you can search this workspace. Is there volumes? I think we can provide via, okay, we can provide from our end as well. That's a good thing. So this will be used a lot if you have some libraries which are created by you. And that does happens a lot in the companies, right? So we used to have the .com, .goldman Sachs and dot like this. So if we have some implementation which is specifically for the company, so you can refer to those. Then file path or ADLS, we can specify the jar. Maven, CRAN, all these things are there, DBFS. So this also you can just directly get your jar here. Okay, this is Databricks file system, right? So it is asking you for the jar which it will store at your end. Library file stored in DBS can be modified by any workspace user. So if you should load libraries from this. So it is saying that you see, if you load it here, anyone can modify it. So just use this instead. Okay, great. So it is installed now. We can go to our notebook back and we can just run this again. Okay, should run. Why is there a line? Okay, let me actually do one thing. From by Mongo. Yeah, it is there now. Import Mongo client. Okay. So yes, congrats on this. Now you learned another thing, that how you can load libraries into your this Databricks environment. Okay. Many people are not aware of this. Many students doesn't have this level of, I would say, exposure. So that is good for you. Now let us go back to our MongoDB. Let us go to code and let's just first try to connect to it. Okay. Copy code, go back and let us connect and see if we are able to just connect to that, right? Okay, did it run or not? Okay, I think we don't have anything here. So let us do my database in the end. Just like in Jupyter Notebook, we should see yes. So it is able to connect. It is saying that yes, I am able to see this. Now what we can do, we can just write your collections. Okay, collection which is in your database. So my database and the collection name, if I remember right, what we use there to create the collection. 1 minute. Collection name, product categories. Okay, so this is what we used. Again, all this in a code setting you can do in VS Code, your in GitHub, like anywhere GitLab, your code can be there. So this all you can, of course, will be constant, right? This all will be sent in a separate file, which will be constant. So you will be using that in a productionized setting, and we are able to read our collections. Okay, then what we can do, so Mongo data is equals to pd dot data frame. Then we can have, I think we have this as PD, so it should be fine. Collection.find, completing the code. We have not imported pandas as well, so import pandas as PD. Actually, you should run this here first, and we have already ran. Yeah. And hopefully now we should have our Mongo data. Okay, let's see that. Yeah, so we have this. We can actually drop this column as well. That should be good, right? We just need this thing. And if you see why it will be used, let me show you now finally. So this products.df, right? Let us do one thing. Products.df, sorry, underscore df, I think. Yeah, dot show or dot head rather. So there is something known as this lazy evaluation in Spark as well, everyone. So these are action. Let me do show only. That will be better. Okay. This 1 minute. What was it? No display. Yeah, let us use display only, maybe. No worries. I think it used to run in Spark, but should be fine. I have been coding on Databricks only for a lot long, so yeah. See, this name is written in uh, some other language, like I don't know what it is. I think it's French, right? But if we see, or if we actually just do a little bit thing, we can get English names for that. And this is what enriching of your data is, that you are getting some other information and you are basically able to change this information or something. So we have the same names for them, right? In a similar way, let's say this all things are there. Let's say the price was there. Maybe if it is was in French currency, we can have the conversion rate and get it into USD or maybe INR or any currency. Like this is what enrichment is, that you are enriching your data, you are adding more to your data, right? So this is again very important thing. You will be doing it a lot. In my experience, this is one of the very important step. Like whenever you are working on your data in a middle way, right? Whenever you are working on your data before sending it or before serving it to end users. Okay, great. So with this out, let us now move forward. And now we can say, so let me just do one thing more as well for all of you. Text, and we can have reading the data. So this is the basic Markdown format. You can read about Markdown. How I know this? Because Jupyter Notebook again. Let us move forward by Mongo. Yes, this is also good. Let us have two reading data from by Mongo. And I've shown you one more thing. So I have shown you how exactly I would have done this in a job setting as well, in a productionized setting. Like this code, you saw that how we copied it, right? We can get it from ChatGPT or other any website for that matter. Easily we can get this. Instead of writing each and everything, because I know that these are not the challenges which one faces. The challenge is when you don't find PyMongo, right? When you copy the code and you don't find PyMongo, and then you ask ChatGPT, and GPT is also like, yeah, do some install it and all these things. So I want to show you the things which majorly I also faced a lot of challenges, right? So please make sure that you understand these things, right? That's why I'm spending a lots of time in these small things, reading all the data. And then also, if you will see the reason I have written this code, this is coming again from more experience only. Like I could have did this one by one. But anyways, just always try that you are able to uh, make your code a lot good, right? In the manner that it is a good habit to write the code like this. Okay, great. So now let us move forward, everyone. Now let us just do one thing. Now we will work on, so percentage MD. There are lots of things. So this percentage is a magic command, and then we have the file structure and other things as well. Again, we'll be covering everything there. So don't worry in the Spark tutorial. Okay. Cleaning the data. Great. So now we are going to start with cleaning our data, everyone. Okay. What we can have is from spark.sql.functions. Okay. Import column to date. Like these are a few functions which we are going to use, and Spark provide us with these functions, right? So let me run this. No module name Spark. That is not right. Why should, oh my bad. Spark is not the module. PySpark is the module. Spark is something else. Current date. 1 minute. Data is not fine. Yes, please. So that's a good thing. AI doing your work. Now, what we can do, see, now the idea is a lot straightforward. If you have done any data science project, the way we clean our data, we will just be using Spark instead of Pandas basic libraries to clean that data. Okay. So nothing else we are doing here as of now. So let us do one thing. Let us define a function. So we can, this I'm again showing you that we can define a function here. Okay. This is just for the cleaning. So I'm just making sure that, yeah, no, that is not what I have to do. I have to just say print cleaning name. Yes, that is good. Cleaning the name basically. And so what I have to do, return df dot. So the very first thing which we do normally, right? We drop duplicates from our this all the variables. So if any duplicate is there, we are making sure that we drop that, right? Instead this, we can have all. And now what I can do, I can just say that orders underscore df equals clean data frame, orders df and orders. So when this run, it's going to show you something like this. Okay, I think it has not run because it's again, let me just do the thing, display orders underscore df, orders underscore df. Yeah, so it is able to now display. You normally, like, this is just one first level of thing which you do. So you can do this on all your data set basically, right? Let us just close this. Okay, great. Let us move forward. Okay, I have done displayed, so that should be fine. Let's move forward. So just I'm showing you that, okay, these are the things which you can do. Normally, my aim majorly here is to make sure that you understand that what are the different kinds of transformation, cleaning and stuff which we do, right? Now let us do a few things as well. So let us now convert date columns. So date, normally we make sure that we are changing it to date. If you remember, we have that, right? We specifically imported this to date here, right? So, and there will be lots of date columns. So we want to make sure that, see, order carrier date, order customer date, order delivery date. So what I can do, we have this orders underscore df. See, it's giving you this thing which I'm going to actually write. It's saying orders.df with column, okay, with column, orders date. So order date, and this with column, what it does, it tries to create a new column. Okay, or if the name is same, then it just tries to change that column. So what I'm saying here, like what it is also suggesting, orders df with column, order date, to date, and we mention this call order date here like this. So just change this into a date type, right? Then I can just also make sure that I can actually in a way just like have this one after another. So I can chain these things as well, right? Let me do one thing like this. So we have this here. Let me have it another line. Dot with column. Okay. See, order purchase timestamp. Now it's got the shipping date. This is where I think AI like it's the best. So where is the shipping date? Order status. Like, see, let's see what are the different dates, right? These all are technically all the dates. Now again, I can just in a way do something like a loop or something as well as here. You can even ask the AI to write the code, but this decision that, okay, you have to make the changes in all these dates, that is something which we will have to do, right? So let me do the shipping date. Then again, if I just do this with column, okay, so see days to ship. Now it is saying giving, right? It is giving me days to ship, date difference, column shipping date minor order date. So in a way, it is helping you to do this thing. Although this is not something which I wanted to do. What I wanted to do here was a single transformation as of now. This is not what we want to do, but I hope you get the idea, right? So see, order delivered customer date is there. Order delivered customer date, right? Not data, my bad. Date. And it's going to change it. Similarly, dot with column, I can change, let's say, order estimated date. It's giving me the same thing, right? And now I think it should be good. We have missed some brackets. Yeah. So majorly, yes, you can change all of them, but I hope you get the basic idea that what we are doing here. Okay. So let us just first get this thing in line. What's the error? Raise by a column error with name order date cannot be resolved. Okay, my bad. Order date is not there. What is the exact column name? That's why A also do something. Order purchase timestamp. That should be the order date. Order purchase timestamp. So normally use AI to your benefit, but don't be overly dependent on that. Like that, I think kills the fun in coding. Okay, now it should be good. See, we have just converted that. Now again, my aim not here is not to do it on each and every column. That is something which you will do, right? I just want to showcase to you that what exactly is happening. And I can also tell you that what are we going to do. So we have these 9 data, all the 9 ones now, right? What I'm going to do is I'm going to just use the data modeling which we had. So if you remember, let us go to Google, OList Kaggle. See, so if you all remember, in the Kaggle, we have this full set, right? That how they are schema. So basically how they're related. So I'm going to make some joins, get those informations from each and every place, and then basically make a final DF. Okay, and then we are going to send it or use it that in our Synapse. Okay, what Synapse is, I'm going to tell you. Don't worry. But yes, I hope you are getting the basic idea that what are we doing and why are we doing that. And in this, I just want to show you that what exactly basically this or what are the different kinds of functions or transformation which we can do on our data. Okay, as I said, this data is a lot clean normally because it is on Kaggle. But when you get this kind of a data, you might have to in a way try to make sure that you do all this cleaning. Okay, so similarly, there is you can get that as well if I show you now. So let's say from PySQL import not import column, there is a month. Okay, as well. It will help you to extract the month from this date, right? So all these things, all these kind of information also is something which we can do. Now let us do a few more things. Calculate delivery and time delays. So these are few information now which we are calculating. Let's see. Order underscore df equals order underscore df dot with orders. My bad. Okay, with column. Okay, and now I will be having actual, let's say, delivery time. Okay, and it's order delivered customer date and purchase timestamp. So it's saying that order delivered customer date and order purchase time. So it's pretty good, honestly. So see, what I'm saying is order purchase timestamp was this and order delivered was this, right? So let me show you here. See, let's say you made an order on Amazon or let's say 1st Jan, for example, and you got it on 5th Jan. So this is the actual time. Order delivered customer date, order delivered customer date minus purchase date, and estimated minus, let's say it was to come to you on 2 January. So Amazon has made a lot of this problem, right? It has to see that why are we taking so much time when the estimated was 2 days? Have we missed out? Is there any problem in our block in our overall chain? Okay, so delivery chain. So all these things, right? This is the analysis now. Again, you can do a lot of that in your pandas data frame, but for small data, not for a lot of big data. Okay, great. So yeah, let us close this. 1 minute. One shift. Yeah. Similarly, we can actually just do it line by line. So we can have this now orders underscore df equals orders. Okay, now it's pretty good. Not sure how, but yeah, it is calculating the estimated delivery time as well. Okay. And now if it calculates delay, then AI is actually pretty nice in terms of this thing. With column, please come. Let's wait on it. Let's wait. Yeah. Okay. You can see AI can take some of our jobs for sure, I think. But yeah, why is it giving an error? Okay, let us see how exactly can we do that. When column, or we can just get rid of this delay column actually delivery date. Oh, okay. So it is just trying to add this condition. Let us see. Is this a function which we can import? Let me see. For the code in lots of languages, so I don't remember. I make sure that I'm not remembering these things, right? It is not that if I will work on PySpark for some time, of course, I will have all this information handy, but should be fine. I think the main aim should be that we know what we have to do, not that I remember all these functions. So I always say, never remember the code, always the logic. And see, pretty great, right? So it is showing you this actual delivery time, and the delay as well, right? So 2022, I think it's okay. So when we made it quick, it is showing, but that's not a good thing, right? I don't want that. I will tell you why I don't want that. That's bad for my team, right? When they do good, I am saying that okay, you are fine, but when they are doing bad delivery, then only I'm penalizing them. So now let us run this. So I'll tell you what I've done. That's like it was giving, if we have done it quickly, then it is showing us 0. Okay. That was the when condition, something like a in if condition. But I want to calculate it, right? I want to show that, okay, so it's actually okay, it's showing delay. It was actually 0 or 1. That's why again AI made the mistake, my bad. And yeah, normally that is also why I don't want to use AI a lot. So orders dot column with column. Okay, column actual delivery time okay, not greater. I want to do minus. And now we should be good. And delay, yeah, delay time, maybe let's say something like this. So again, see, AI will give you the logic which it feels is best, but sometimes we have to make sure that we write the logic. Yeah, I think it is running. Like second. Have we missed out on something? I don't think so. Actual delivery date time minus estimated delivery time. It should have shown us. something else. 1 minute. Okay, I think it is not running due to some caching or something. Again, Spark issue should be fine. Yeah, so you will see that it is just giving a delay. So one, two, let us do one thing. Let's go to the next line and now see display orders underscore df dot tail. Okay. Now if I run this, okay, let me do 5. Let us get the last 5. Hopefully it will not do all these things. So again, I know why it might be happening. Spark does some kind of caching at its end. Okay, I think it was in the last. Should be fine. So we get the delay as well, and we got the delay time. If it's negative, then it should be good. Okay, yes, I think yeah, there the caching was not used. So I will just give you a little bit idea. So Spark does lazy evaluation. That is what happens. That so majorly there are Spark. We have in Spark we have transformation and action. So transformations are not actually done right quickly. Okay, so all these are transformation. Let me show you a few things. Yeah, see. So few of them are transformation, few of them are actions. When I do action, that is where the whole thing gets executed. It creates a graph in the backend. Okay, so for example, like it is just like I'm telling you that, hey, this is how you make a cake. I will tell you that, okay, first you take some dough or something, you make sure that you need it, and then you add these things, add all these things. You are making a step by step procedure in your mind, right? But you will take that action when someone's birthday is there or when cake is actually required. So you can think of this like this. Okay, very simple analogy. So Sparks works on a similar principle that it will make sure that it is making this graph kind of a thing, that what all transformation it has to do. But when it will actually be requiring that thing, it will make sure that it does that only when the action is there. So this display is an action, honestly. When we are asking that, hey, now show us the result, that is an action. The benefit, if I just do some transformation for my mind only, like I don't have any use for that, then you can see that what problem it can give, right? I hope you can see that. Because many people can do like lots of transformation you are doing, but in the end you are not using that. Then Spark says that, okay, I will try to optimize that as well. I will not do that. Caching, I'm not sure. I kind of seem to forget if database used to do it itself, but we can cache the data as well. Okay, so we also can do that. Now again, that all thing will be there in the Spark class, which I will take. But yes, caching is also one more way through which we can make sure. So for example, how can I explain caching? Yeah. So you have the premix, right? That in a way is caching, where few things are done already in that graph which you made. Let's say there was a kneading of the graph, adding sugar or all these things. You created that premix. Okay, so let's say you have multiple birthdays in a line. So you created a lots of premix. And let's say in 3 birthdays in 3 days, you are just using that premix. So you cache that thing. In a similar way, Spark also does caching. It is on us as well. Now, again, we are going to discuss on that, but these are few optimization which Spark normally offer to us, right? Something which again is not available in Pandas data frame. Why am I mentioning Pandas a lot? Because many students have this doubt that why are we doing this in a difficult manner? Why we are using Spark methods and everything? Well, because it is a lot optimized for that, right? For big data, Spark is a lot optimized. Pandas is not. Okay, great. So now let us do some joining, as I said. So joining. I hope you get the basic picture, right? That what exactly are we trying to do here. Okay, if anyone has any doubt, please just with the timestamp let me know. I will make sure that I clear it. Okay. So first let us get order customers df equals orders df join customer df orders df customer id. Yes, that's the thing. Okay. And I think I want to do a left join. That is something which I also want. So see, acha, one thing if I show you. Yeah, right now if you will see, okay, so a few things, okay, I can show you each and everything here only. So pay attention, everyone. Orders underscore payments underscore df equals order customer df. Yes, that is the one which I want to use. I'm just waiting on liking, yes, like kind of someone doing it for me. Payments df order this and left. So this is also right. Order ID. Then I want to do orders item. One thing. Okay, many of you might not be aware of why or what all I'm doing. So just open this or create this at your end. Did we close that? Yes, we have closed that. So no worries. What I want, oh, list Kaggle again. Just if I show you from this, right? Because again, I have made sure this problem is not where you are handling 2, 3 data sets. Lots of data sets are there. I have the OList orders data set. Order ID, I connected this with, sorry, customer ID. Yeah, customer ID. I connected with customer. So let me actually do it like this. Then it will be a lot helpful to you all. And please give me an extra like for this effort for finding the tools through which it is easy to work and understand. I make you explain like this. Okay. So no worries. 1 minute. Okay, I'm not able to just divide it like this, but it should be fine. I normally it happens. Okay, okay, yeah. See. And yeah, cool. So now I think it will be a lot quickly understandable by all of you. So pay attention. What we did was orders customer DF. So orders I have data set. Customer I joined with customer ID, and I kept this one. So the left one. This is the on the left, right? Similarly, I made order payments. So order payments, yeah. With the order ID, I did this. Now I'm doing it for order items. Okay, so order items DF. You can see order. Okay, now I think it's doing something wrong. Let me see. Equals order payments DF. That is fine. Items DF. Yes. On order ID. So order items. Yes. So see, order ID is the one which we can join on. Right. Then next we can have orders item. Rather items products. So product is left still, right? Product is where? Yeah, this is the product. So first I join with this. Now I can join with this. And you will see products df, orders item df dot join, products df. Now I have the product ID as well, right? Earlier, see what I'm coming at is we started with this. We made sure that first we are connecting with customers ID, and I have to I make these kind of mistakes a lot. Customers ID, okay, not customers. So I should have corrected that, but no worries. So see, we first made sure that we are joining it with customers via customer ID, right? Next for payments, we are joining via order ID. Okay, order ID. See. Next, I am doing for items. Now see, I want to get all this data as well. This data I cannot directly reach to because I don't have product ID in this. But order table is having the product ID. So first I join with this order ID to get this items data inside me via the left join. And then we are just using the product ID to get all the information about product as well. Okay. I hope this was clear. Pretty straightforward. I hope this was. So this I can also get. Next, I want to make sure that now I can name it something known as final TF. Okay. Where I have to just now get the seller information as well. So seller information is also there. Okay, what is it's doing? No, let me do it now. No major help of orders underscore item produce dot I so see now it is just making me do something which I don't want to do. That is what I hate about AI. Dot join. I have to join the seller DF. Okay. And what we will be joining it on, seller ID is there, right? So I can actually write it something like this. I can write like this as well if the name is same, but let us use the one it is giving. Order items product, and we have the seller as well. So I think we got all these tables, right? We got this. As of now, I think we are not connected with the reviews, but should be fine. All this we have got. But this geolocation we are going to work on. But if you remember this, if I have this product information as well, then what I can do. Okay, let me just now show you two things. First, if I run this. Okay, what's that? My bad. Let us fix this. Referral order ID is could be order ID. 1 minute. Where is it giving? Okay, so we made again the AI wrote the code for us and items order ID it is, so it should be fine. Okay. Okay, again it is giving no worries. Let us check quickly. Code and then we have to do order underscore payments df dot columns. Okay. And it's good. Like we are facing that issue and we have lots of column. Okay, no worries. Okay, I think we might have to do this thing. So we have this order ID. We got the payment information with us. That is all good. Now we are trying to join it with items underscore df, right? So here only I can have items underscore df dot columns, right? And here we have this order ID again. Okay, then what's the problem? Okay, let us fix this. Not join. We don't want to rename it. Should be fine. Order underscore ID, right? That is something which should have worked. Or don't join it. We are joining via orders. We are using this items df, not orders. Items df. Yeah. Run this now. What is the problem? Yeah. So seems to be working now. Okay. Should be fine. So some ambiguity was there. We have reduced this. But the thing which I want to show you all is that it has not actually done this thing as of now. You don't see any jobs or anything, right? You just see these columns and stuff. Because join is a transformation, not an action, right? If I remember it right, I'm pretty sure that it is a join, but should be fine. Spark, transformation, and action. So see, what I was coming at when I was explaining you this thing, that as of now I've asked that, hey, Spark, please do this work for me. So join it. Spark knows that okay, it has to join all these things, right? It has to join all these things. That all is good. But the thing which is happening is that as of now, because I've not taken any action, nothing of this has happened. Nothing has happened as of now, honestly. The second, if I go to the new line, if I go to this thing and I do, let's say, display my final DF, now you will see lots of jobs. See, Spark jobs, how many jobs are there? And each and every one of them is actually doing this joining. And now you can see that thing, right? So this is an action, right? This is an action. This last one is the display. Let me see some other job. Okay, let me show you that if it is visible, because I want to explain this via other in the Spark properly, this all how you read this and everything. But yes, the basic idea is that we are making sure that we are like there are lots of, okay, I hope that shows it here only. We can actually see lots of things here, but I know it will be confusing, so don't want to as of now just confuse you. Just showing, I think, if some SQL or data frame properties. No, that is something else. But anyway, I hope you get the idea, right? Yeah, this detailed plan is also there. So we will be understanding each and every one of these things, should be fine. But yeah, once you do this join, finally, once you do display, which is an action, all these join then get done. So normally it was not getting done. That is the thing which you have to understand. Let me, yeah, so that was what I want to show you. Now let us move forward, everyone. I think this we can get rid of. Mhm. Okay. Okay, no, my bad. Okay, please don't crash, don't stop. I think we are on using lots of features. So yeah, untie all tabs in set and I hope it doesn't crash. Yes, cool. So it doesn't crash, although it's a lot slow. But for that, what I can do, I can just do this for the timing. Hibernate. Yes, great. And hibernate. Yeah, cool. So great. Now everyone, you will see that we are able to see our final DF. All the joins are done. Right now, what I want to do. Okay, so there was some data which was, if you remember, okay, one step we forgot. So I also want to make sure that in my final DF, this is not, yeah, this is where we write code. Final DF, okay, I have to also get the information from the MongoDB, right? So it will be final underscore DF dot join, and it is from MongoDB this time, Mongo data, right? And I just have to make sure that it is on product category name and just left. So all this is doing is that we are making sure we have this information as well. We are making this join. Okay, what happened here? Underscore JDF. What mistake I made? Okay, Mongo data. 1 minute, 1 minute. Have we changed that into a Spark data frame? I think we have not. So no worries. Good error to make. Yeah. So we have done a mistake here, everyone. If you see, Mongo data is in a data frame format, right? What we are trying to do here, though, We are trying to join two Spark data frame. One is in the pandas data frame format. I hope that you understand why it is not right. Okay. So for that, what we can do, 1 minute, yes. So Mongo underscore Spark df equals, we can just create, I think there is a Spark read, no, create, sorry, Spark dot create data frame, and we can just give the Mongo data here, and we should be good. Right, we can displace it, is it? What's the problem? Infer schema. Okay, 1 minute. So okay, we might have to give schema as well. 1 second. Okay, so it is showing us that unable to infer the data. Okay, yeah. So as I said, we should have dropped this field. No worries. So let us do one thing. Mongo underscore data dot drop. Simple Python code will work here. That is not a problem. Underscore ID access 1, and we have to just use in place true. Okay. So what I've done here, I'm just dropping this underscore ID because schema, it is not able to infer schema for that. Other things are still possible. So let us do this. And now we are able to see this, right? Now let us move forward. And I think if we now just use here Spark Mongo Spark DF, hopefully if we run this, yeah. So see, we are able to now get this as well. Okay, everyone. Okay, everyone. I hope that is clear a lot. So just that we were using a Spark data frame and a Mongo, sorry, Pandas data frame, not possible, right? Great, everyone. So pretty sure you are all able to understand, going pretty easy only. I will just quickly help you revise what all we have done and how awesome Databricks is. I'm going to show you one more few like greater things in that which you can do. So pay attention. This is all like what you have. We made sure that we write this to create our permission and the connection to ADLS. Now this is where we create our try to read our data frame. Okay, let us make it maybe customer DF here so that okay, I will be downloading this file and uploading that so you all can actually use that, right? Now we can move forward, reading the data, all these things are there. Now again, as I said, this data, it was not very straightforward. It was pretty complex, but clean, right? So we have done this joining and stuff so that we can get the information. Now, as a data engineer, actually, it's not your work to get the insights and stuff though. But still, I think it's still good if you have the understanding of data. And that's why I always say that even if you are a data engineer, try to read just the basics of data science. Okay, ML and other things may be not required, but data science might be required, right? Similarly, we have just cleaned few things. I showed you that how you can do that. Of course, you can do lots of stuff on this data, and for that you can actually go to Kaggle, which I will suggest. Go to Kaggle and go to code, and you can see multiple codes here, right? So you can see multiple of these codes in which people have done all these things. So do try that. Okay, 1 minute, yeah. So geospatial analytics and all these things. But again, as a data scientist, normally it is not your work to get the insights. Though you have to make sure that you provide the data properly. Okay, as of now, we have used lots of these things and get the data. I think we have not used reviews and geopolitical one. It was geopolitical or whatever was the name. But anyways, but yeah, I hope you get the basic idea. One more thing which I'd like to show you is that we have this display final DF, right? Let me run this. Okay, now it is a pretty long file, right? We have actually worked a lot on this file. See, it's 3282 plus rows, truncated data, 3.1 second. But you can actually do one thing here as well. See, I can make visualization here. So, for example, let me select, see what we can do. We can maybe select customer date, okay? And we let's say group by order ID. Okay, not order ID, my bad. 1 minute. Okay, I should have done a different thing. 1 minute. Great. So actually I have to reopen everything. So make sure again, because the data is a little bit high in volume and dependent so many tabs we have opened. So it happens, right? Let's go to visualization. And now let's go to column. Let's have say, okay, let's say I want to understand on delay time, right? We can have another. column here. Yeah. See how good it is able to give you these graphs and stuff. Now, again, you can just use them for a basic analysis. It is not honestly your job, but as I normally say that it's better to know about everything, right? And you can add a group by here as well. Let's say we say that by payment type. Okay. See, so it's showing that, see, credit cards, right? If I see normally, I can see that, okay, it is not that much effective, though this boleto, whatever it is, I hope it's COD, right? This is somewhat delay, but yeah, you can like make these kinds of a graph, and you can just quickly, what you can do, you can just save it and see. Now, if you share this overall with someone, he will see that, yes, this person knows the things, right? And few things more as well, right? See, we have the filter, search here, filter here, right? Then we can make sure to open result table side panel, like on the right side. All these things are provided to you. You can download this as well. Okay, download first 3 to 8 rows. They are truncated. I think download full as well will be there. Download all rows up to 5 GB compressed. But I hope you get the basic idea that how exactly things are happening here, right? So this is the level of overall power which Databricks can give you. And to think that all of this is happening behind the scenes in a distributed computing way, you can imagine that how fast that would be, right? Because right now we are using a single node due to the free free trial basically limitation, right? But we can have multiple clusters and the code is going to be exactly the same, right? So I'm going to explain you in the, let me know first in the comments if you like this overall video and you want that. But we are going to go to compute and see and understand everything in that as well in the Spark when we do it, right? So you will go to Spark first compute, you will see a few things there. See, Spark UI is there which you can access, right? So yeah, many things are there which we can see. Now Spark UI master, others can also come. Again, lots of things are there to be explained, which I will like to start from first, explain you in a way that it is clear, okay, not just in the air. You can see the storage where caching happens. Okay, so yeah, I hope you get the idea. Some cache data is there, but yeah. Okay, not sure what this is. Let us go to our awesome code. It's connected and we will still see our this thing, let it run. Okay, yeah, see, we are able to still see our visualization here as well. You can create multiple of these visualization, no worries. And Sparks and Database give you that level of benefit. Again, it's taking a little time because the compute is slow as well, right? Our computer is not very fast. It's 12 GB one and we have lots of data loaded, lots of things we have done. So yeah, I think that should give you a very good idea that what exactly is happening here, how Spark, Databricks, all these things are lot optimized for working on big data. Now what we have to do, so let's say this final DF, now I know that if I go to this and if I go to data card, yeah, I know that you have not done many things here still, right? Let me, it is this the button to change it to light zone. Okay, how do we change it to, yeah, no worries. I hope this is clear, just the way. So see, I know that we have not used reviews data set. We have not used this geolocation as well. Okay, so you have this, how you can connect that. But I hope you get the basic idea clear that what exactly is happening here. Now, what we can do, we have this, everything is joined, right? We can have a cell and we can just store our data. So this final data, okay, we can write, okay, then mode. So there is a mode. Let me just explain you about these mode as well. Let me just go to Google and then explain you here. Spark write mode. So it's append, override. There are four modes majorly: append, override, error, or error if exist, ignore. Error appends the content to a data frame, or like if already a data frame is there, it's going to just append to it. Override, as it says, override the expanding existing data. Error throws an exception if the data already exists. Okay. Ignore, basically what it's going to do, it's not going to show you an error, but it's not going to write as well. Okay, so these are few modes. Now, this is very much straightforward, like write CSV function pandas data frame. But yes, I hope you get the basic thing clear here. So let me close it. Okay, mode we are going to use, we can use overwrite. I think that's fine. Overwrite. Okay. And format, we are going to use a parquet format. Okay. So it's a very good format on top of which, like, it is a lot compressed. It is used on delta tables as well. It is used in delta tables. So this is something which we are going to use. Okay, Parquet format. So dot format Parquet. So yeah, we are using that because it's a lot better. Again, we'll be explaining you all about all these in some separate video so that I can compare normal, which are all the different forms of data which are used in your big data or data engineering use case. So we can actually do something like this as well. We can just say Parquet and we can format for basically just provide this abfss. Let me copy that from above. So let's go to this and we want to store it in silver layer, and let's say transform data. So this is the data which we are now going to read into our transform data. Actually you can keep it in silver only, should be fine. That is should be fine as well. Yeah, should be fine. Let us run this. Okay, so yeah, what's the error? Column customer ID already considers to another name or rename the existing column. Okay, let us see what is the issue. Final underscore df dot columns. I think we have multiple columns of same name somehow. That might be giving the problem. Okay, customer ID, customer ID. Okay, let me use AI for this quickly. Rename duplicate columns. Actually, I should have done the join other way, but should be fine. We should have dropped that column. Or no, drop duplicate columns in final underscore df. So the reason I'm just using it because honestly you will also be using it, but I want to make sure that you are basically, let me run this. Yeah, you are basically aware how we have to do this, right? Let me show. Okay, why is the error coming? Okay, some for you it's written a very basic code. Okay, let me write it. No worries. AI is pretty bad when it gives error, right? So let us actually try to write the code maybe ourselves. For anyone who is thinking, the drop duplicate one will not work. That is majorly for rows, right? So drop duplicate, we have written a clean function above. Okay. So there it is, cleaning the data. Yeah. This drop duplicate actually work on rows. Okay. So it will not work. Let us go down and let us now. 1 minute. So I mistakenly did it back. Okay, let us move forward. One more reason why you should know coding. Okay, so if AI fails, it's better that you are able to at least write some basic functions. So remove duplicate columns. Yes, let me write some duplicate columns. And what I have to do here, if I'm getting a df, first I have to get the columns, which is df dot columns. Okay, so once I have all of its column, I can have scene columns. Okay, which is a set. Yeah, that makes sense. And some which are column to drop. Okay, so it can be an empty list. So just writing a normal loop again. Sometimes loop a normal thing works. Okay, in the backend also, anyways, anyone if it has to delete the columns, it will be working something like this only, right? Because we have to see that what are duplicates. There is no, like, some inbuilt function will also have the same complexity, right? So for columns, if column in, okay, if we have already, let's say, seen this particular column, seen columns, then we should append this, right? So columns dot append column. Yeah, so we should append, else we should just add it to our seen columns. Seen columns equals your, no, dot add your column. Okay, so I think this will work. This is going to just get us all the duplicates column. Once we have this, then we can have df cleaned equals, mm, yes, df drop and the columns to drop. We can return our df cleaned. So I think the way I see it, like normally this is the first time I'm coding on AI, right? Using this thing, so it's giving a good code. I think it's good for 60-70% use cases, but that left over 20-30%, that you have to understand a lot better, because else it can give you some very bad errors, right? And it can actually make your uh, work a lot difficult. Let me do this. Okay, let us run. Okay, so yeah, seems like now we have this thing, and order ID is not duplicate. Yeah. And that's why I always say that don't be dependent 100% on AI, because then it's going to be a lot difficult, right? It can give you those things. It was confused whether it's a Spark data frame or a Pandas data frame and stuff. Maybe there is an easy way, but I think this works as better as any. And now we should be good to save it. Okay, let's hope it saves now. And if it will be saving, if everything goes well, then we should be able to see some files in our. So let me go to this. Yeah. This. Okay, let me launch. Okay, this is not that. Hmm. Oh, sorry, that was it. No worries. Let us go back there. Okay, let it open. We have containers. Police data. This is a container and silver. Oh, nice. We see many files and they are coming from that only. Yeah. So congrats everyone. We have actually, if you are able to do till now, which I hope that you are, okay. For the timing, you can just do these basic transformation only. That should be fine. Then actually kudos, because this was not at all easy. Now I know that we have not done a lots of Spark, so don't worry. I will be taking some separate session on Spark. I know that many of you will be seeing that yes, you have faced some issues in Spark. What is this lit? What is this salted join? All these things. Don't worry. Okay, this was, yeah, of course. If I was just doing this 4 years back, so after that, actually, I worked a lot in Spark. I went on to build these data pipelines for a lots of good projects, because we kind of nailed this project a lot better, right? Back in Goldman Sachs days, that is what I'm saying. So yeah, don't worry on that. Okay, so as I'm telling you, because there are many things I understand, but we will be doing that separately. For the timing, we have to majorly focus on this pipeline, right? Now, if we come back to this pipeline, you will see one thing, that we are in a way done with this thing. And good thing was that we use this enrichment as well. And the transform data is now in silver. Okay, so uh, very, very congratulations. Because if you are able to do this, you now have a lots of things which are clear. Once, if you have the Spark concepts clear, then you will be at a very good place. If not, wait for my next video where I will be explaining them. And you will understand that, yes, how good of a project this is. So let us go back, everyone. Let us do few things first, though. Let me download this as a IPython notebook, right? Let me clear this thing, clear this whole, yeah. So it is downloading. Let it download. Yeah, okay, lots of data. Okay, should it be this big? Is it getting the data as well? Yeah. Okay, not sure why a notebook is so big in size, but should be fine. Okay, it's getting all the results and stuff, maybe that's why. So let me go back, add file, upload file, and I can drop this. And okay, that's a big file. Ah, okay. So let me do one thing, because I want you to have this file export as a source file, maybe. Okay. Will we be able to do anything from here? Let me see that 1 second. Thing is, I want that all of you should be able to use this code which I have written, this awesome code through which we have understood things. So it becomes very important, right? Databricks. Okay, lots of things you will find. No worries. Let me close this. Okay, let me download something else. Let me do one thing first. Let me anyway just upload this file, right? Brazilian e-commerce, and that file, create new file. Okay, not create, my bad. So I'm just doing it so that you have a very good reference, right? Okay, Python quit unexpectedly. Okay, no worries. Not sure where Python was running, but anyways. Oh, I think yeah, I spaced and that's why. Why is Mac giving so much issues? Okay, that's not a good thing. Hmm. Application secret and all these things. Okay. Yes, okay. Oh, no worries. I will delete it. Okay, I will delete. But that's a very good. Okay, that's a very good. Honestly, step from this. Wasn't aware that it happens. So for people who are not able to understand what just happened, I clicked it. I think quickly. It was able to see that I have secrets exposed in that file. Okay, so it asked me that hey, you have those secrets. Please make sure that you are able to handle that, right? But no worries. Let me see if the file is still there. Okay, for each input. No, no worries. Okay, cool. I will actually do this quickly. No worries. So was able to upload as an HTML, which you all will be able to see, and you'll be able to see the code as well. I will spend the time to make the IPNB small. I think if I just uh, reduce all these things and maybe notebook layout, editor theme should be fine. Cell layout. Okay, they changed this a lot. So cool. No worries. I will do that. But anyways, we have the HTML, which you can see the code. So now it's a pretty good thing. We have completed this transform data. Okay. Now let's go to our Azure. Okay. And a very, very congratulations and kudos if you're able to do till here. It's a very not that easy thing, believe me. Again, we could have done lots of more transformation, lots of work on the Databricks, right? Rather, any of that, your analysis, which you will see on Kaggle notebooks as a data scientist, you can do on a that as well on your Databricks and then running ML models and everything. You saw that we have the ML uh, GPUs or ML compute and libraries as well, but don't worry. Okay, so we will see. We should be making sure that we understand things in a time, okay, with each and every in an incremental manner. Okay, so now let us use Synapse, right? One thing to note here, we could have done all the thing which we are doing. I think I mentioned that earlier as well. All these things which we are doing, we could have done in Synapse as well. Now Fabric is also catching up, but yes, Synapse is getting used a lot in the industry and it's a pretty awesome tool as well. Okay, so we will see that. For the timing, let's go here and create a Synapse workspace. So it's a fully managed. Okay, I forgot that. No worries. Okay, so first it's free trial only, right? Resource group is ecom live, and we have to create a manage resource group just like we did for your Databricks, right? So let's say olist data synapse rg or resource group, right? Workspace name, we have to create a workspace as well. Name your workspace, select a location, choose primary data, right? So what happened is that Synapse also asks that you create a storage account for it separately, right? Majorly you can send your files there as well. Like we could have, how can I explain that in an easy manner? Yes. Let's say this is your laptop, right? But there is a major laptop through which, or let's say there is a data analytic person on whose laptop, every data analytic stuff and everything happens. You could have either send, like he will also have some memory, right? He will have some storage as well. You would have sent the file directly or save the file directly at his position. But we normally try that, okay, it is there. We will maybe save some things on that particular storage account. But all the analysis which we are doing, as of now, we are saving it our storage account only, on our laptop only. So just a basic example, but yes, I hope that get the thing clear. So Central India, that is fine. Then OList Synapse workspace. I think this should be okay. Yeah. Okay. So OList Synapse workspace account name OList. Let us create new one. Okay. Let us create new one. Create new. So OList. Okay. It should not be there. 1 minute. So account name we can have. We have to create new one here. Synapse storage. Right. So this is the one which is for Synapse, right? This is not, we will not be using it right now, but yes, normally with when you create Synapse, it is created. Okay, it's already taken. I think it should be okay. Synapse, can I add a? So that is one thing which I don't like about Azure. Like it somehow asks you to make names which is not taken across the Azure ecosystem. I think it should be by account level, right? Because if someone like it's kind of like email ID. Like if I want to have Mayank, if it's my account and I want to have a one with Mayank, like why is it stopping me? So not sure, but let's hope they fix it. So Synapse storage, like they have the IDs, right, through which we can get them. Synapse storage O list. This will not be there. I don't want to. Okay, Synapse storage default will also be taken, I think. Okay, somehow it is available. And file system also we can create new Synapse file sys. Hope it is available. Yes, cool. I think it should be yeah, okay. So great. I think we can go forward. Next, security. Okay, so this we have to actually create a password here, right? So going to explain you all that, no worries. OList user, and let me enter a password. And I hope I remember it. Let me share that with you all so that I remember it always. What I'm going to enter as my password. Yeah, let's say can I see that? 1234 ASTF @ Okay. Okay, nice. So that is one thing which I actually hate. I'm not very good at setting these passwords. So that's why what I can do is, let's say, yeah. Yeah, let us use this suggested password. Let us do one thing. So now I will not forget it. Okay, let us use this. Let us use this. Now it should match. List user and SQL. Okay. So, okay, this is good. Now we can go forward. Yes, please save it. That will be better. We are not using any virtual net. Again, it might be required if you have some sensitive data. Like for example, when I was in OYO as well, if you want to get data via any database, right, we have to first connect to the VPN, right? So something like that, VNet, we can just ignore it, should be fine. Not adding any tags, review and create. And everything is successful. It's showing you some cost and everything because we have selected Central India. It is in your INR, else it would have been in dollars. So let it create now. Great. So let it do. Okay, so it's in progress as you can see. It's going to create the request of the and to not be deserialized. Name was found in okay. Yeah, I was thinking that it will be a problem, but that's something which I hate again in Azure. So see, I got the idea that it should not be available. Okay, we like why it didn't give that error in the request container could not be deserialized. Not found in SKU, not really sure. Okay, let me do it that quickly again. Okay, so redeploy maybe. Right. So okay, nothing storage default O list. Maybe that will work. We can create the validation field. Okay, which validation is failing? The source group should be ecom life. Okay. We can create now, please. Okay. Uh, okay, so let us actually create a new one. Let me quickly do that. Meanwhile, this will because give a lots of errors. So let us go back and create a new one. Okay, so I have filled it again. The reason I'm showing you that is so that if you face any error, you should know that it's fine. Let us solve them. Okay, don't be afraid of errors. And again, I'm facing them live with you. I'm going to solve that. Okay, so yeah, seems fine. Let us go forward. This I want to use the previous one only. Please let me use. Okay, list SQL admin, right? Okay, it is not using it. Okay, 1 minute. I have to get new one only. Yeah, so should be fine. Now it should match. Police SQL admin, right? Let us do next and networking. Yeah, I think we don't have to do anything else. Next tags and remain create. Now I hope it gets created. So once it gets created or is in the process, I will explain you what exactly Synapse is. Actually, I will be, I can go and just explain you right now as well. I have the notes and then we will also see the proper way. So see, okay, let us go forward. Yeah. So Azure Synapse is a cloud-based data warehouse and analytics service that combines data integration, enterprise data warehousing, and big data analytics. Pretty short. Nothing or most of that would not be clear. Let us actually. Okay, the request was invalid. 1 minute now. What is the problem? Okay, let me solve it quickly and then I will explain you what exactly has to be done. I think it should be some different problem altogether. Okay. So the same is now in deployment, everyone. I will tell what I have done. I have created a storage account separately and hopefully now it gets done. The problem was actually with regard to something else. Like hopefully you will not face the issue. I think I created some with that name previously and that was not getting accepted or something. But now it seems to be going forward properly. So yeah, it is in deployment, all is Synapse. So what happened is that these services also, they have their own resource group and storage account and other things, right? It's just the same as you are making a small service up. So it is also coming up with its own few things. It might require a storage account and all these things. Once it starts, then I'm going to explain you via UI that how exactly it happens, what exactly Synapse is. And majorly now Azure Fabric is also coming up, which is having more functionality than this. Unfortunately, I was not able to use it via my account. So I think you need some education or business account for that. That is what I face error. So we are going to use some other business intelligence tool, whichever is working in my Mac. You can use Power BI. It is available in Windows. Mac, you will get the idea. And similarly for Linux, once we create our gold layer. Along with that, basically, as I said, you can do each and everything in this Synapse Analytics only, which I'm going to show you. But again, we have used multiple services so that you get exposure to each and every one of them. As a tool, Synapse Analytics is pretty good, and it seems to follow the Microsoft mindset of creating design or things, right? Like, for example, in Microsoft, you can see that you can create a Excel table, full-fledged Excel table with formulas and everything in your PowerPoint or Word, and other ways as well. Like the overall font and all these things are supported across the platforms, right? So that I think where the, I would say, this design language or design thing come into picture. But that doesn't mean that your store this Azure Data Factory or Databricks is not used. Azure Data Factory is still used because it is, again, it can be used inside this as well. Data Factory, Azure Data Factory is separate altogether. You can write Spark things here, not Data Bricks. Okay, not Data Bricks one. So that I'm going to show you. No worries. Let it first create. So we are going to this overall uh, part in our architecture, very close. So now we are going to use a lots of advanced SQL part using some virtual views, open row set and all these things, which I will suggest that you read once. If you have any problem, let me know and I can create a separate video on that. I'm going to show you the full process, just that it is getting created. So filling that up, let us create and edit. Yeah, let me just make sure that I can accelerate it a little bit. Okay, so we have one good news and one bad. Good news, our resource is completed. Bad news, the camera has given up on us. So let me use the laptop one meanwhile. So let's now go to the resource group. Okay. And yeah, okay, 1 minute. And we have the, let me go to the home only. Synapse Analytics, all the Synapse. Minute, yeah. So where is the launch workspace option here? Yeah, open Synapse Studio. So you see this? Seems like it has changed a little bit. Should be fine. So this is going to open just like your Microsoft applications. You're going to see this box. I think it was a lot common in Windows 8, if I remember right. So I've used Microsoft Windows for a long time. That's why I remember all these things. Let it run. So yeah, meanwhile, let me explain. So see, it's an kind of a integrated workspace where you can do all your data ingestion, like I showed you in that, right? So you can do data integration, ingestion. Okay, then data warehousing. You can create a SQL database here as well, something which we are going to do. You can read your files or tables which are stored in some storage account, okay, without getting them. So that's where abstraction and open row set is used. So all these things, okay. So yeah, this is the overall thing. You can see ingest, explore and analyze, visualize as well. So yeah, visualization is also possible here. I will see if I can use this only. And yes, so this is the full UI. You will see many things are common, right? This is the monitor and this is the LUN. So it might be a lot similar to Azure Data, sorry, this Azure Data Factory, right? Because again, two things. It is also Microsoft inbuilt. The Databricks was a totally different software, as I explained you. And if you go and integrate, let us take a step by step. Okay, home is this one. First, let us go to this left one, data. Here you can add your SQL database, Lake database. Lake database is majorly when you create your database using Spark. Okay, so I will talk and maybe we can just discuss more on that. Then connect to external data set, integration data set, all these things. We can go forward and develop. Here you will see SQL scripts, SQL, KQL scripts, notebook. If you do click notebook here, you might see that it is a lot straightforward and similar. It is asking you to attach to a Spark pool. Now there is a difference, right? See, when I told you about Databricks, I told that it's a separate software, some optimization are done on top of it, right? So it was something like, let's say, a pro version of Windows. Maybe you can think of that. Like the things are same. Yes, you are running the Spark code, but lots of optimization are inbuilt in that. Okay. Here you can write the Spark tool, but it is the Apache open source Spark most probably. Okay, so you just have to create a pool. I think we have to create new Spark Apache Spark pool. So see, this is not will be optimized as Databricks one is. Okay, so there is a difference. Like that is the main difference, everyone. Okay, please make sure that you understand that. You can write Spark scripts and everything, but it will be different. So let me delete that and delete it. Okay, so you can see all these things are available here. Then if you go and integrate, this will be a lot more familiar. If you click pipeline, see the full Azure Data Factory part is there, right? You can import, you can just copy. So Synapse, notebook and everything is it's giving move and transform. You can have copy data here, right? All these things are basically present to you as they were in your ADF, right? So we are going to create a database and everything. Let's now go back and now let's start working with Synapse. So just to show to you in the architecture, we are here. We will be reading data from this and we will be making sure that we are able to create our own database as well. Okay. So till now, I hope everything is clear. If any doubt is there, please make sure that you clear that out. Okay. We are not doing it in a simple manner. Again, many files were there. Our final DF was also a big file. The core file was also 25 MB, like of course with visualization and stuff. But anyways, the basic idea here is that we are building it as close to a production level, I would say, understanding, having multiple DBs and everything. And now we are in the last phase where we will be now creating the gold layer of our middle architecture using Synapse. Okay. Great, everyone. So now let us start our working on Synapse. Already I've shown you this particular flow, right? One more thing to note, we can actually go to develop here and we can create a new data flow. Okay, so again, this is also very much similar. We can add a source here. Then you can go and select, okay, from where you want the source. Will be seeming a lot like Azure Data Factory. So just like multiple ways of doing a thing, right? I honestly have not used this part. Okay, but again, if our basics are clear, we can understand the requirement and see that, okay, what or how data flow is in Synapse is different from Azure Databricks. So why am I showing you these things? Because I want to make sure that you understand that these different implementations, right? They are not a lot difficult to learn if you focus just on the basics. So you have to understand that from the architecture majorly that, hey, it's clear that, okay, I have to get some data. Okay. And you might have to then work on that data. So for getting the data, either we can have a Azure Databricks, Azure Data Factory, or we can have some flow like this as well, where we can have, I think Flowlet is something which we can see what exactly that is. But yeah, I hope you get the idea. So we are not going to use that. Let me just delete it. Okay, let us close the pipeline as well. And now let us just focus on Synapse properly. One thing more to notice, here we will be using lots of SQL. And I have specifically made sure that we are doing that because again, I will show you how easy is it to just get the data in Synapse and then work on that. I will not be doing that easy thing for you. Rather, we will see that how exactly can it be used as part of Medallion architecture where we can get sources from multiple places. Okay, so I will show you all that part. Just give me 2 minutes. And then basically create write our complex SQL queries, create a view. Okay. and then finally store that view as a table. So we will be using SQL, which is going to be a little bit basically not very beginner. So if you don't know any function, what I would suggest is don't stop. Okay. Please keep on working. Once you complete this, once you complete all the steps, then go back and revise those functions. That is going to be a lot helpful. Okay. So all those functions and the way you write SQL. Now, honestly, most of them I also got exposed when I did my job, specifically in OYO rooms. So there, because the tables were a lot, we were writing easily 500, 600 lines of SQL queries. Okay. I will just find and try to maybe upload one in GitHub as well. But yeah, the basic thing is that yes, SQL will be required, and I have kept it uh, intermediate level by choice so that you understand that yes, okay, how does the work gets happen in a production setup or in a company. Okay, great. So let us go to architecture once. Let me show you where we stand. We have this data in silver here already. We are going to read this data. Okay, and then we are going to see that exactly how we can send this data back to gold, from where now anyone, any of our let's say dependent, anyone who we have to serve this data can use that, be it data scientist, be it data analytics. Okay, anyone. Just the thing to notice, they are not like, as a data engineer, this all is your work, so they don't care that you have to do all these things. Okay, they don't actually care anything about this, right? So please make sure of that, because once the data gets used in visualization or for data science purposes or ML as well, you have to make sure of all these things, and that is where the role of data engineer comes into picture, which for which we are doing this project for the last 3-4 hours. So great, let us go to our home. One thing more I would like to explain you. So if you remember, when I created Synapse, I told you that we are creating a separate 1 minute blue color, yeah. So we are creating a separate data lake for this, right? So if you remember, I was facing some error in that, so I created separate one first, and then I basically joined it to my Synapse. It had an option where you could have also selected the one which we have created. I will tell you why we have not done that, because it's going to be a lot helpful. See, multiple reasons. The very first one is we want to keep them separate. Second is if they are multiple data sources from which we need to get this thing and maybe store it into our Synapse. Okay, so normally what we can do is we can store it into our Synapse data lake as well, right? Because that is from where we can maybe serve the gold or serve the audience, like serve everyone in the company. So because of that, like I can show you one more thing. See, if I go on homepage, this is the Synapse OLS default. Here also, if we go, container is there. Synapse OLS file system, if you remember, it asks for this. And here, what can I do? 1 minute. I can just easily upload a file. So let me do that thing. Okay. Okay. Let me just. Okay. So this customer the CSV is here. Okay. Maybe I have to browse for file and then upload. Yeah. Let me upload a customer CSV. Okay. It's a different, like a CSV, normal CSV file. Okay. Not a worry. So we have uploaded this. It is now as a blob. Again, we could have got it via some SQL DB or something as well. Now, because my Synapse is connected to this particular DB, what I can do is, if I go to this data, okay, if I go on linked, if I go on this OList Synapse, you will see customer CSV here. And I can just have a new SQL script, select top 100 rows. Okay. So this is now getting top 100 rows, and I can run this. Let me run this. Yeah. So see, we are able to get all these things, right? So information about the customer. 2, 3 things which I like to, which I want to clear here. See, this Synapse is already connected. So our Synapse, right, is already connected to your this DB. Okay. But still we are using open row set. So go and see how open row set is used. It actually is not getting the data. Like, so see, Synapse is used as a multi-tool. Like you can actually create your data factory here, write Spark scripts, and make it behave as a warehouse as well, data warehouse as well. Okay. OpenRow set, what we are doing is we have this information all about the customer. So this customer, what all is saved. We have all the meta information basically stored for this, all the metadata. And this open row said we are not getting this data into our Synapse space, right? It is just present in the data lake only. Data lake is associated to Synapse. Okay. And just we are able to read it without any, just using the metadata. Okay, I will explain this a little bit better, but let's move forward first. 1 minute, let me clear this. And this overall thing is going to be a lot helpful. Okay, so I've copied that. Great. Now, for us, we need to read the data from OList data storage account, right? So for that, what we will do now, again, just like we gave Databricks a permission to read from this, okay, Synapse also need a permission to read from this, okay. So just like, again, just like we gave this permission to Databricks, Synapse also needs this permission. Let me explain you this a little bit more better. So we saw all these things, okay. This line I have written: to ensure the data in Azure Synapse, we need to give permission to Synapse via data lake. Let us understand this a little bit better. See, this is basically the whole idea. This is our data, basically data lake, right? This is our data lake. Now we have Azure Synapse as well, right? And this is a common lake house kind of a thing which we have now, or which companies are now chasing. And I will explain each and everything here. So please make sure that you understand it very nicely, because this is something which is little advanced, which people will not be knowing, right? This you majorly get either if someone who have worked told you, or like who has worked on these things, or like if you work on them yourself in any company, right? So what is happening? This data is stored in data lake. Okay. Synapse, I will give the permission. Okay, so I'm going to give this permission. But because Synapse is a Azure thing only, like it is in Azure ecosystem only, so we don't need to go via that app registration route, which we went for Azure Databricks, right? So what I'm saying, if you remember in Databricks, what we did was we created, we went to a app registration. So we went this, right? App registration. We created a key, we created all these things so that finally Azure can use them and read the same, right? That was, oh, sorry, Databricks can use them and read the same. But because both of them, these are all in our same thing only. So you remember this was the case, right? I think it was OLS DB ADLS, so you like whatever it was, but yes. For Synapse, what we can do is we can just go back. We can go on IAM. We can create or add new role assignment. Okay. Again, same blob contributor. It gives write and read both access. Okay. And I can go next. Now you can see here user group dot service principal. What I have to do, I can select members here and sorry, not this. We have to do manage identity. So your Synapse workspace, it gets a identity, a manage identity. Okay, so once you create your Synapse, by default it gets. So you don't have to do anything there. What you can do, you can go here and see Synapse workspace, and you will see this OLS Synapse, right? So it is the thing which will now make sure that this Synapse is having a whole permission to access from your data lake. Synapse can access from its data lake, which we saw just now. For that, no permission or nothing is required. As well, normally what we do is, if you will go here, uh, here only I am the person who is using it. If there are multiple users or something, they also will have to get this access so they can read from this particular data lake. And we can just go review and assign. Okay. It's showing, okay, it's showing the role already exists. I think I added the same, but yeah, should be fine. So I hope you got the steps. You have to add these roles so that your Synapse, can read from your data lake. Okay. That thing is very, very important. Now let us move forward. Now, what I was saying, or what I want to explain you via this particular thing is, pay attention. So in your lake house, the basic idea behind data lake house, this Azure Delta tables and everything, again, we'll be explaining that via a separate video in a lot of depth, because as of now in this video, I have not explained you about data warehouse, data lake, then where this lake house comes into picture. So lake house is actually best of both worlds. That here we are saying that it has a data lake and data warehouse, both things, right? Data warehouse used to be a very good for your analytics purposes. Okay. And data lake is very good for your big data purposes, where you can store anything. Doesn't matter if it's an image, a video. For warehouse, okay, it is known as OLAP, online analytical processing, right? Because all the data, all our transaction data, we can store to warehouse in a structured manner. and then work on that to get any analysis, right? Data lake is used a lot in big data, where we are saving lots of data of any form, which can then be used for machine learning purposes, AI purposes, analytics as well. But yes, you have to first work on that data. What normally happen is that because see, this data is not present in lake, it doesn't make sense that Synapse will be getting all the data which is stored here into its DB. Rather, instead of this, what Synapse do, it will be maintaining a lakehouse abstraction layer through which it can read the data from this data lake. It will have all the information. The easiest way I can explain you this is, let's say we have Swiggy and Zomato, right? These are the apps. Now they maintain all things, like let's say this is the restaurant. They don't have food or anything. They are not in the business, or they are not. They are kind of an abstraction layer between the restaurant and you. So you say that, okay, I want this dish. I want this dish. They are not preparing on anything. No, they just have the data. They are just storing all the metadata, and they can just get you that particular dish, right? So, or of course, things happen in the backend. They know where the restaurant is located. They know where you are located. Then they send someone. In a very much similar way, this lakehouse abstraction, what it helps you to do is that you can read this data, even though it is kept in data lake only. Okay. The benefit is that data lake can have lots of data. Like in our Azure ADLS Gen 2, Azure Data Lake, we can store any kind of data, a lot of data, doesn't matter. Synapse says that, okay, I will just go, I know that, okay, where the data is separated and everything, and I can read that data easily. And that is where we are using open row set as well. Like open row set is used for that only in SQL. So just to show you as well, open, and again, these all are very much easy way I'm explaining, because so it might not be a lot technically correct, that I understand, because I want to make sure that anyone who doesn't even have an idea, he's able to understand the same. Okay. So yeah, open row set, you can just read about this particular thing. Okay, used to query external data sources, right? So let's go back to our Synapse. And now what we can do is we have to write the SQL scripts, right? So let me just add another one, a new SQL script. This SQL script, I will say SQL on OList data. Okay, SQL on OList. I can just get rid of this. Pretty much similar, just like we have in Azure Data Factory. Okay, so let me just hide this. And now see, we are going to use another database. Okay, there is a by default master database, but we are going to use another database. Let me go to database and let me add a new SQL database. It is going to be serverless. So let me now explain this as well. This is also very important. See, so when we talk about SQL pool, there are two ways, serverless or dedicated. Okay, so let's understand how it works and everything. We don't set up or manage servers, it is on demand. Synapse spins up resources when you need them. Okay. In dedicated, we reserve fixed resources, okay, compute power for your data, which are always available. So it is just exactly like you are buying the computers and you are making sure that they are always available. Versus, let's say, the way we saw in Databricks, where we are just taking up those compute resources and we are just storing, using them. If we don't use them, they are going to get basically detached with our code. Okay. Payment, we of course pay for as much queries as we are running, pay for the reserved compute. So whatever we are reserving, we will pay for that. Then use case, good for exploring large data set or running queries occasionally. Okay, so if let's say we have our data in a silver layer, then we have to now get or see the data, maybe do some basic joins or some part. That for that it is pretty good. Best for big workloads that need fast performance and predictable speeds. Now you can think that if you have any use case where you need fast performance, of course we will make sure that we have dedicated compute for that. Data location, again, data stays in data lake only, ADLS Gen 2. Here data is loaded into dedicated SQL database in Synapse. So this was what I was explaining you. This is what I have created. Okay, using serverless, we will make sure that we are able to read them. Okay, and we will not be loading them into our dedicated SQL databases. Setup complexity, again, very easy. And here we will of course have to mention that, okay, which level of resource or compute we want. Again, a very easy example to explain this. Your serverless is like a public transport. You will just pay whenever you are using it. Okay. Dedicated SQL pool is like your car. You have purchased it. Okay. You have anyway paid for it, right? So again, using it now, you don't have to give anything, but then you have to make sure that everything is with you. All things you have to handle all these things. Whereas In serverless, it's just a public transport like a bus or a metro. You go, you pay for like how much distance you want to cover, and you get out. You don't need to then uh, care about any other thing. Okay, so I hope you like this example. Let me write that down. So it is bus versus car. Okay, and let me write own car here. I hope this example will make it a lot more clear. Let us now go back. So let me create a new one, O list, and let me save it. Great. So now let us go. So this is where data we have created. Now we have created a database as well. O list you will see here. Now if I go on develop, I can write a query here. If you remember, I copied this, right? Select top 100 from open row set, bulk, format, partial version as result. So what I have to change here, see, this Synapse OList default, this is the data lake storage name, right? So if you remember, if we go back, home, Synapse OList default, our data lake is this one. Our data lake is this one, which we have to copy. Let us go inside. This is our data lake. So we are going to just change it. Okay. I will tell you one other way you can get this thing. No worries. DFS codenet. This is the folder or the container. For our use case, this was OList data. So if I go on container, OList data is the container. And for us, the data is present in silver as a Parquet format. It is not CSV. So silver, and you can give folder as a total folder. You can give file as well, or you can give the folder. Let me just remove this. Let me change it to Parquet, and we can just say as result or as result one. Let me just run this now. And hopefully we should be able to get the top 100 rows where Synapse is just having this information and it is just using the data is still kept on lake only and we are able to query it. Okay. Thus, we will be able to save lots of cost. Like we are not storing data with us. And this is a big thing, right? We are able to just read the data. See, the very good thing. I'm happy it came with the results. And we have the data here. Okay, all the data and everything. To get this same thing, like this, I copied from the example which Synapse only gave me. To get the same thing, let us go back. Let me click this. And you will find the same thing here. See. So let me just comment this. See, HTTP, OLS data blob, and see, one thing is there, just it's stored as a blob and we are referring to a data lake. So we will be changing it to DFS instead. Okay, this change is there. I think if I do it blob, it's going to give an error. Let us try this. Okay, it is able to read. So I remember that it used to give error, but seems like maybe they have saved it or solved it or something. And this is the file. So part003 snappy.parquet. This snappy codec we are going to learn about, no worries. So I can just remove this. So I read the whole data. See, there are multiple parts here, right? There are multiple parts here. And again, these things are basics of big data, honestly, this Parquet and everything. But as I said, I will be creating videos where I will be explaining you these things, right? How they are multiple files and all that part. Let us now go back. Okay. For the timing, I'm doing it TFS only. That should be fine. So pretty sure that you will be able to now understand and see these things. Now what I have to do, okay, so now there are multiple things which I can do. So let's do them one by one. The very first thing is I can create a view, okay, create view gold dot, let's say I make final. Okay, so this is what I'm creating as view here, gold dot final. Let me run this. It's going to create a view inside. 1 minute. Create view gold, my bad. First, okay, I'll think 1 minute. Just give a second. Create view. Okay, let me hide it. And let us paste and run this. So create view goal dot final as minute. Yeah. So we will be using this thing only. And this time instead of top 100, I'm just going to select all. So see, this also I can run. And we will get all the rows, right? Now I'm just creating a view. I will tell why we are doing that. See, I'm just copying this that, hey, create view as. So whatever this is, just create a view for this. Okay, this view again, it is not going to save any data. I can run this. Create or auto will not supported in my bad. So, okay, one thing always remember, always change this database. We were in the wrong database here. Okay, here also it should be OList. Let us run this. So we have created a database. We need to make sure that there we are doing all these things because we cannot create this view. Okay, let me run this now. Okay, I have to first create a schema. My bad. Create schema gold. Let me run this now. And now we have created a schema, and inside that we have a table. So let us go here, view, list, views, and see gold.final is there, where we have all the information. Now, what's the benefit for this? Well, the benefit is that I can now just simply do this. Select star from gold.final. And if I run this, I will be able to get everything. So I, in a way, said that this particular thing, okay, all this I have created as a view in my database, right? Now again, I think many students who have never worked with view or anything, they might be facing an issue, but don't worry. It is just that I'm saying that, hey, all these things just created as a view, which I can use. Nothing major. Okay, you can go and learn about views in SQL. Should be more than enough. But yes, this is what I'm doing, right? Now, once you have done this, actually, you can now write any queries, right? You can actually work on this particular thing. No worries at all. And we can have the charts here as well. Similarly, we can see the visualization. So right now, I think it is legend chart type is line. So it is trying to do something. Let us again do the order status. And let me have myself here. Let me do it. Yeah. So order status. And then we can have legend position is something else. But I hope you get the idea that category column is, let's say, order status and payment type, maybe something like this. Credit card. So we can just create views here. We can just download it, save as image, all these things we can do directly. Okay, it's pretty simple thing, just like we have done in our Databricks. Now, here it is also useful as a visualization tool again. You can just write your SQL queries and visualize them, just like you must be doing in any other platform, right? So let us go back and continue this work. Now, since we have created a view, okay, all things. Now see, if you would have multiple tables as well, which you have worked on in your database, you could have gotten all of them here from multiple databases, right? So what I'm saying, we have Synapse here. We have these multiple datas which are now in silver layer of, let's say, their data lake. They are in silver. They have been worked upon. Now we can get all of them and work on them in Synapse as well. Should be fine. We can just then write SQL queries and everything, right? And once we are fine, we can just create views for that. So we can use them. Pretty much simple workflow the way it happens. So we can do that easily, right? But what we are interested to do is that if let's say I do some changes into this particular thing. So for example, let me actually create another view. Okay, let me create another view. SQL database. Sorry, my bad. Let me go here. SQL script. Okay. View final 2. So pay attention what I'm going to do here. Right. One row star from this where order status equals delivered. So I'm just making sure that I am storing this as a separate view, which anyone can use. Okay, let me run this. First, let us actually run this thing. Oh, my bad. 1 minute. Okay, let us change the database. 1, 2. And see, it has now created this view as well. So if I do select star from gold.final2, I have this thing, right? I have this view as well. And we will get all the orders. So we were talking about orders here only, right? We will get all the orders where the status is only delivered. So these are very small level. Okay, and I've just applied a where clause, right? You can apply multiple things here, join them with multiple tables. and create these views. Now my aim is that once, okay, I have created this view. So let's say I have this final 2 view as well. Now I want to store this thing back into my goal layer, right? So that is where we started. Okay, let us go back. All this data and goal. Okay. Now here multiple things comes into picture again. Let me just explain them one by one. Let us go back to my notes. Okay, and pay attention. So, okay, let me just, okay, I think, yeah, I have this workflow as well. So let me explain that as well. Medallion architecture and lakehouse, of course, we should be having an idea. I told you normally that medallion architecture, bronze, silver, and gold layer. Lakehouse, that how we will not be storing anything. It's a combination of both. And there we can just write our queries, not storing any data with the metadata only. Using a serverless SQL pool, we can get the data with us. Okay. Then we are creating a serverless SQL pool for just reading or querying. Okay. Create schema and then user password. Okay, I'm going to come into this part. So we are going to now create we have created schema already. We have to create a username and password for that. We are going to do that. No worries. Then open row set. We have used open row set to read data from silver layer. This we have already done. Here data is not stored, just reference to silver layer. Create a view to easily query the data. So now I have also created this view. Again, I will just repeat the steps. We have created a serverless SQL pool. Okay, so that we just wrote the queries and we don't have to worry about anything. We have created a schema, a DB, and then username and passwords. So username and password I'm going to create now. Should be fine. We have used open row set to read data from silver layer. Okay, so from our silver layer, we have or we can read this data using open row set. And as you have seen, we are not saving any data. Then we have created this view, this final and final two we have created so that we can easily read this particular data. Now, role comes where I will have to send this particular data. Okay, let's say I have worked on this and created some final 3, 4 or all these things. Now I have to send all these to my goal layer so that they can be or it can be used for serving, right? So pay attention what we have to do here. 1 minute, yeah. See, data migration to gold layer. We have the input or the source. Okay, so we know the format, it is Parky, and we have the source information as well, like from where we are reading this. What is the source, everyone? This is the source. This thing. This is the source, right? We have to specify where the output should be and format and source of output as well. And there is where I was saying that, see, pay attention. There is a very good command, CETAS SQL. See, CETAS with Synapse SQL. Create external table as select. Okay, so when I do select, I have done this select on this particular thing, right? Select star from gold final 2. Now I want to create external tables. These external tables, they will be physical table. They will not be just like some table which I have reference to. No, these physical table will be the one which anyone can now read from my data lake, and they will be stored as your inside your gold layer. Okay. So again, this is a command CETAS, which I was mentioning. Create external table as select. Okay. So see what all it will be required. Just see this thing. Create external table. Okay. It is asking that, okay, what table you want me to create with, okay, with this thing as select star from and all these things. And we can just create the table normally by this thing, right? So this is the example, create database. First, we have to create our database. We have done that. We are again using this directly. No worries in this. This part is something which I mentioned. So we have to use this master key, password and database, this identity. Okay, so I am having this managed identity. If you remember, I told you, right, that if we have to, when we will be working on Synapse, we will be requiring this identity for me as well, right? So this I have already provided. And that time we saw that how we have giving the managed identity. Then create external file format. We have to give the file format. We have to get the external data source and then just create this particular thing. So this is all actually all the steps which we have to use, right? So if I go back, again, I will just repeat it once more. We have the data in silver table. We are able to read it. Should be fine. We are reading it using the lake house concepts. We are created a serverless SQL pool. Everything is fine. Now I have worked on this data. I have run some filter query, joined multiple of them, basically reference to each and every one of them, created some database, which I think is now very good for finally serving to my clients, right? For that, what I can do is I have to first create a database and I have to use that database, which we have already done. We have to create this master key encryption by password. So let me do that. Let me go here. Let us create a new script only. SQL script. And again, I know maybe SQL script to gold layer. Okay. If you are facing any issues, just make sure that you revise your SQL pretty well. Okay. So create master key password. Let me just use a strong password here. Again, don't try to remember mine or anything. We are anyway going to delete it. Just make sure that you change the data set. We have to, sorry, database. Okay. Then let us go back here. And always, one more thing, everyone. Please make sure that you read this documentation. So documentation is actually the truth. It's going to teach you many things. Okay. Let's say create credentials. It can be Mayank admin with identity, manage identity. So I can now create these things. Let me run this. Please create a master key in the database or open the master key in the session. Okay, let us see what we have missed out here. Let us try to run this master key thing first, maybe. There is already a master key. Okay, I think there is a master key which is now created. So drop master key Synapse. Okay. Have we given any name? No. Let me create a new. So yeah, normally it is suggested that we keep multiple things. Cannot drop master key because certificate is encrypted by it. Okay, let me quickly check. Okay, so let us run. Okay, so yeah, actually, if we cannot delete from master because there this certificate is dependent on it, we have to use olist. Use olist. So these things will be required when we are going to upload or send data back to our gold layer. Okay, Mayank admin is dependent, no worries. So select star from 1 minute, everyone. So we have to just delete this credentials and then recreate it. Okay, let me run this. Mayank admin is there. You can just fast forward this particular part, should be fine. Okay. So what happened was I mistakenly run that 2 times. So I want to make sure that you see that we are able to do it properly. Okay. So Mayank admin. So what I'm doing is I'm just I created this user and like password here, right? This database scope credentials and the encryption key. I'm just making sure that I'm able to delete them. So let me run this. Now this would have been done. Yeah, so we see no user, basically no scope credential here. Now I can drop the master key. Okay. Great. Let us go back. We can just remove it. Should be fine. You don't have to use it. Now we can just run this. Is it or open the master key? Why am I still getting this error? That should be not the case. Yeah. So my bad. Okay. Now we are able to have this key and everything. We can just maybe just like I did, select star from sys dot database credentials, and you can see the user. Actually, I will have to make sure that I run this like this. Yeah. Let me just comment these things so you can create this at your end. I will be giving you all these commands as well, right? Great. Let me do this. Yeah, cool. So everyone, what we have done till now, we have just followed this process. Let me show you back. We have created a serverless SQL pool. Now we have created a schema and then use user and password as well for that particular thing. Then open row set, we were able to read the data from silver layer and we created a view to easily query the data. Now comes the next part that lets you are able to query the data. You are able to work on that. You're able to form your views. They are all basically not physical table. They are just managed table which you have, right? They are not available anywhere. Now I have to make sure that I can create external tables from the views which I have created. And these external tables are one which I will be storing in my gold layer, which can then be used by anyone in my company Okay. And as a data engineer, hopefully my work will be done. Okay. So let us go back. And now what we have to do, let us see where is that? Yeah. So see, create external file format. So we have to use this file format. We can actually do this. We can just directly copy this. This is specifying that, okay, what should be the file format which I'm going to use, right? So what is the file format, everyone? We are going to use Parky, right? Internal file format, when we read and when we created our views, we have already told that it is Parky. We had the option of creating using CSV and other things as well, but we have mentioned that. So let me set this up. And this snappy codec is just a compression. So it's just an algorithm which is used for that. You can see Org, Apache, Hadoop, IO compress, snappy codec. Okay, let me just do this as ext file format. Okay, so I'm using this. Now let's see the next thing. Let me go here. Let me just keep it up actually. And these are actually, honestly, if I tell you, these are kind of your boilerplate code for SQL. That is what I have seen. Like you have to do this, you do this multiple times and you get hold of that. So it is not something which even I remember. Honestly, I understood this, and in many companies, this can be different as well. So these are few things which you can just do once and you will get an idea. So don't get scared or feel like, okay, what exactly I am doing? How am I doing that? No, you don't have to worry on that. This all is the process which is very cleanly written here, and which normally we follow to create just this user and set up the way the boilerplate code normally, just like we do in code. Okay. So data source is your silver layer, right? Storage account, we know this is the storage account, everyone. Let me go back. This is the storage account, right? And here the container is OLS data. So all this I'm specifying so that you will see I don't have to enter this many times, right? And base folder path is silver. Okay, so now we have done this. Credentials, this is where I will be needing my scope credentials. So this is why I created this, Mayank admin. Okay, so I have the scope credentials as well. Now let's see the next part. Next is create external file format, create external data source. Okay, my bad. I think I have forgot one thing. Source gold. Okay, so this is external data source, not internal data source, right? So we have to make sure that we are using, or we are specifying where we want to finally save our data. That is why we have mentioned this. Now, this thing, the source, this also we have mentioned. When we read the data, right? If you remember, when we read the data, we have mentioned this thing. So via a facade, via a abstraction, we read all the data, we worked on that. We are not storing anything. Now, once we have done everything, because we have to now make sure that this data can be served, we just have to save this data. Let's see the final command. So create external table. Let me just copy this. So I'm running this, meanwhile I'm running this particular, these two files, so that, yeah, no errors are there. See, create external table. Okay, gold dot, let me just create these tables, everyone. What exactly we will be doing here? Final. Okay, what was the case? DBO, my external tables, right? So this is the DB. Let me get rid of this with location. Okay, so I have to specify the location here. Now this is where it will be used. Now what I can specify here, everyone, I have this. Okay, I made a mistake. Gold layer should be the one. No worries. Let me run this again. And location is gold layer, right? Data format again is Parquet only. Data format we know, right? We can just use this external file format. So it has everything. It is Sparky and it has a data compression. And file format, actually, we can just mention this thing. So we have mentioned the location. One second. Okay, I think we have to create external. Okay, 1 minute, 1 minute. So this is the file format, and this is the layer, gold layer, the source, and location is where I have to, basically in the folder which I have to store. So final underscore or final serving, right? Select star from, let me add a comma here. Just give me a minute from, what was the view which you have created? Goal.final2. Goal.final2. And if I just do this, let me just run this now. Okay, everyone. So run this. There is already an object named final in the database. My bad. Goal.final table. Okay, let me run this. Cannot create external table. External table location already exists. Final serving. 1 minute. Let me do final or serving, maybe just like this. Okay, seems to be working. I ran it before, not sure why I'm getting the error. Okay, so this is now done, everyone. You can see this. Now what you can do here, let me show you one thing. SQL script, no list. Select star from goal.final table. Let me run this in the OList data set. And you can see the data. Now, again, many of you might be thinking that, hey Mayank, why have we done this when I was doing this from final goal.final2? Wasn't I able to see the same data? Right? See, I'm able to see the same data. Well, yes, but there's a difference. The difference is that if I go inside my OList data set now, if I go inside my gold, okay, I think I created a final survey. No worries. Let me delete this. Maybe I showed something in the starting or while testing. I must have created it. That's why it was showing an error. No worries. Okay. So see, serving, and we have this whole data as a parquet here. So now if I just close and let me just publish all these things for the time being. Let me publish. Yeah, publish please. See, if I just close all of these things, okay, so I done this, created this view and everything, which I can use, no worries, nothing else. But for my final database user who is just simply standing here, he will not know. I have created the views where just delivered was there, and you can do any other operation as well. But I can serve him now using this gold layer. In that gold layer, we have that particular data set, and this completes your flow. This completes this end-to-end project as a data engineer, because finally, as honestly, your work completes here because you have created a data. Okay, we started with a very again, the data was clean, but we have multiple files. Okay, we stored and we got them via multiple sources. We got them into the bronze layer just as it is, no changes. Then we stored them into Databricks. Oh, sorry, we worked on them in Databricks. We got a table for enrichment. Then we stored them into the silver layer. Then we read them into Synapse, okay, where we were able to create views. We can get multiple DBs. We can work on them. All thing was serverless. And then we finally stored them in a gold layer. Now, in our case, we have not done lots of things here in the gold layer, of course, in the Synapse. But I hope you get the basic idea, right? That we can work and create the data there as we want. Okay. And this gold layer can now be actually used to serve your customers, serve your employees, anyone, serve your visualization tools, anything. And this is the overall work. And if you're able to do it, be a lot happy. Congrats to you. Kudos, because this was not easy at all. Many things you have seen the code and everything. I have just tried to follow this particular. Let me copy this because this is going to be a lot helpful, right? So anything which you are not aware, please read. Let me know in the comments on Q&A, and I'm going to make a full-fledged maybe videos on the topic which you which you fail to understand, or I will explain that in the reply. But this thing, and you have seen that I have just followed this particular approach, and I'm able to get my data back into the gold layer, where now it can be served. Okay, so you have actually completed a full production level data engineering project, big data rather, which was not easy at all. We have used all the tools which are used in the industry. You have learned a lot about them. Okay. And finally, now if anyone has to use it, okay, what you can do is you can just go to here. Let's go back. Synapse all is default. Review 1 minute. So let me show you that how exactly you can read it now. Okay, let us go back. Only Synapse. And we have this serverless SQL endpoint here as well, which you can actually use. So if you will go on Power BI and you want to read from Azure Synapse also as well. So see, you can read from data lake, that is fine because data lake so anyone can read. But all these things which we have created, if you want to work on them on your that as well, on your Power BI tool or anything, you can actually use this serverless SQL endpoint. You might have to enter the username and password, the one which we created while creating the Synapse. Okay. I will try that if I can add that. Unfortunately, I was not able to get any tool working. Let me show you that as well, actually. So I got the Tableau public, but unfortunately that doesn't supports your this thing. So let me get that here. Yeah. Send. It is not actually supporting your this thing. Uh, Azure Synapse, right? Now for Windows user, it's going to be a lot easy. Azure Synapse Tableau. See, Azure SQL Synapse Analytics, but it just applied to cloud, desktop, prep, and server, not on the public, which I have got. Okay, so it's going to be, I think, problematic, but yeah, should be fine. Let me know if I'm missing out on something because I have used Power BI majorly. In Goldman, it was whole Windows PC where I've used this Power BI. And see, in select Tableau and under connect, select Azure Synapse Analytics. Okay, so the same feature is there on your Power BI as well. I'm trying to get hands on a Windows PC and create the same thing. Okay. But yes, be happy because we have done a very great project end to end properly. If you're able to explain and first see, you have to make sure that you see this video 2-3 times, right? Because it is not an easy project as that I started and maintained the starting only. Like we, if you remember, right, we have been together, I think almost for 4 hours. We did created these DBs. Okay, on the files.io, you created your own DBs, your own SQL DB, your own NoSQL DB. Then you read them in a data factory. Then you stored each and every one of them. Then we worked so much on the data transformation in Azure Databricks. We saw the transformation there, the visualization there. We joined multiple tables there, understood the data modeling, the data diagram. We got the data from MongoDB for enrichment. Then we went ahead and stored it in Silver. Then we created these views and everything, which we can even access. Then we stored the data back in gold layer, where now anyone can be served using that layer. So this completes this complete flow. If you're able to understand, see the video multiple times. If you're able to understand and explain and add this project in your CV, the interviewer is going to be hell impressed because you have used the state of the art tools. You have worked on a proper data. It was not an easy data or something. In Synapse, I didn't said that, hey, just go here and use this link DB. No, I didn't said ask you to use this. Why should we use this? We should know all these things, right? The way it is used in the industries. So yeah, I hope that is a lot helpful, everyone. Please let me know if there is anything which is not clear. Please do comment or ask in Q&A. I will be more than happy to answer that. And with this, I am pretty sure that you must be a lot confident in your data engineering journey. Do let me know all the topics. So I intend to make videos on data engineering basics, Databricks, all these things. Want to share my knowledge and also on other cloud as well, AWS and GCP. But yeah, let me know if you face any issue whatsoever. If anything is there which is not clear, I will be more than happy to create videos on that or explain the same to you in the comments. And if you like the video, do show some love and just share it with everyone. Do subscribe and basically make sure that it reach out to the more and more people so that I get more motivated to create content like this. Okay. So cool, everyone. Thanks with that. And I hope you get the whole thing clear. Now I'm going to make sure that I share all these things with you, right? So let me just copy this. And one more thing, once you have done with all these things, right? Please make sure that what you do is you go outside here and you delete all these things. So you can go to resource groups and you need to delete all these resource groups because else they can be keep on charging. Again, you are on free trial, but if anyone has exhausted the free trial and if they are anyways, let's say paying, I don't think if you just delete it as soon as you use it, you're going to incur a cost greater than 100 as well. Okay. Provided you didn't spend a lot of time on Databricks because there you remember, right? The cost was there. So yeah, with that, I think it is a lot good project which you have done. I will be waiting for your feedback and for your overall thought on this particular videos. And let's meet in the next video. Let me know in the comment and I will be making sure that I interact with you there. Okay. So cool, everyone. Thanks a lot for your time in this project, and we will meet in the next video. Thank you.